There is so much more behind this flying shot of the Black Hills than it seems like. I was taking video with my iPhone for the first time from this big mechanized bubble, a helicopter. It was just me and the pilot on a glorious sunny day, and I considered it my first helicopter ride, even though I was in a helicopter just last year. I couldn't quite count it off my bucket list back then because last year's ride was a life flight. For that first flight, December 7th of last year, I found myself on a gurney just after midnight in the back of a medical service helicopter. By rights, I should have been unconscious, or at least so out of it on pain meds that I didn't know where I was. But something about being in the magical flying machine I'd always wanted to be in cut through the fog, and my brain woke me up. The helicopter doctor was actually laughing at me because although I was suffering from the effects of a hemorrhagic stroke, I was smiling and amazed and asking him to take a photo of me. I did make it to the hospital in time. I came out of there with my life, with decent health in spite of it, and a story to tell. So when my daughter and I went on vacation in the Black Hills this year, I couldn't get the idea of a chartered helicopter ride out of my mind. We'd been here in Keystone one time before, in the very same place. I had bought the kids a ride to fly by Mount Rushmore, but at the time I didn't think I had the money to do it too. So this year, about 15 years later, I was finally getting my helicopter bucket list ride. I chose Black Hills Aerial Adventures north of Keystone. So I signed up for a solo ride and walked out to the helipad with my pilot, and then there I was after all my frustrating helicopter history, finally in the air for real. I had sprung for the full 25-minute ride to make sure I got my fill. We flew past Mount Rushmore twice, and then on south over Stockade Lake, down along this turbulent divide above the highway where it was really blowing, over a private ranch, and past two silver mines, one working and one defunct. We also flew past the cathedral spires where Maggie and I had hiked just the day before, and it was so cool to see them from this perspective only a day later. As I was zooming through the sky, the thought crossed my mind how important it was to acknowledge my life from there in the air. I had been told after the stroke that most people who have the type of stroke I had don't make it. So this just wasn't a celebration of technology that keeps humans up in the air. It wasn't just a fun activity on vacation. It was a confirmation of my life. Here I was in spite of everything, flying in the face of death. Ha ha, I'm still alive! Take that, death! But, as you know, what goes up must come down, and I have to admit, after some time in the air, it was a little like sensory overload, so I was content to come down to earth and take a couple of pictures to prove I was there, and then continue on my Black Hills adventure with my daughter. It was a trip I won't soon forget. Not only because of the wonderful time I had with her, but because I finally completed the helicopter circle in my mind. No strokes, no parental deprivation while the kids have all the fun. I was looking at it as a different kind of life flight, the kind of event you make happen because it means so much to your life. Thank you, Black Hills and Black Hills Aerial Adventures, for getting this life flight on the books.